Yeah, so you were in Only Men Allowed.
Yes.
Do you still take part in that?
No, I haven't. The last involvement I had with OMA was the first round of Last Choir Standing, and I was living in London, but Tim, the conductor, said, we're going to enter this competition, do you want to come do it? So, yes, I do. So I was going to Cardiff for rehearsals, and it was great. I mean, I can't tell you how much I loved that choir. It's one of my favourite things ever that I've ever done. I miss them. I miss singing with them. I miss being part of that sound. I miss just the banter is like none other. They're just an extraordinary bunch of guys, and I miss them all really, really, really badly. So I was to come do this. Yes, brilliant. Did the first round, and then I got Andras, and obviously couldn't continue. And then of course they won. I mean, I remember walking in there that first round thinking, I know we're going to win this competition. And you just sort of, I don't know, because I've been trying to tell the boys for years, like, we're so brilliant. This is perfect. Because the other men that you see now, you know, they're a bit more polished and they've got nice suits and everything, but they're essentially the same choir that they've been for 8 years. I mean, they've been that good for that long. They've always been that good. They haven't just suddenly. They've always been like that. So if you could just get it across to a wider audience, but now they haven't. And, you know, they deserve every bit of their success, every bit of it, because they're fantastic musicians, fantastic people.
And you started the Blue Iron Company. Is that right? You started it?
Yeah. Me and I was with him just now. Me and a very good friend of mine called Lee, who's #1 sound on $1 Million Quartet. He was on the sound department at Les Mis when I first started all those years ago. That's how we got to know each other. But so we've done a couple of gigs with sort of a production company, but with the idea, I've always this idea that there's got to be other people in the industry like me. I don't like cabarets on Sundays. I don't find it very interesting. I find it incredibly boring. I don't, you know, I love my job and I love singing and I love acting and I love performing and I'm very, very grateful that I get to do it. But, you know, I think some music theatre is the most extraordinary thing imaginable, and some of it just really isn't. But I think that's true of anything. But what I think there's a sort of a whole section of people within the industry that I don't really relate to because it's not my cup of tea. But I thought there must be other people who have similar interests to me, like similar music to me, and who go home and listen to Elba or Sigur Rós and don't listen to Jason Robert Brown. Not that there's anything wrong with Jason Robert Brown, because, you know, some of his stuff's extraordinary. But I had this idea that if you write your own stuff and you're in this industry, it's very difficult to do so, firstly, because you're doing 8 shows a week, and, you know, if you're going to be in a band and be in a show, you can't really, because you've got to rehearse in the evenings and gig in the evenings, and unless you're gigging at 11 o'clock at night or on a Sunday, you know, it's very hard. So I was thinking these people who don't really have a platform to get their stuff out there. So I had this idea, and Lee and I have been talking about stuff. And we did a few things a couple of gigs before, but then, you know, life gets in the way, and Lee had a baby and all the rest of it. But we're back, and we've got a few ideas in the pipeline. So yeah, watch this space. It's quite exciting.
Great. So I came to your gig in November 2009.
Where was that?
2009 or 2010? It was in Soho. I don't know what it was called.
Madame Jojo's?
No.
The 12 bar.
12 bar.
12 bar was brilliant.
That was great. Yeah, I love that gig.
Yeah,
so
love the 12 bar.
I want another one.
Yeah, watch this space. Follow us on Twitter.
I do.
Spread the word.
But yeah, I'll get Stephen Sondheim Society following on Twitter as well.
Do it.
Spread it all around. So we asked for questions on email and Twitter, and everybody wants to know what your dream roles are in Sondheim and not in Sondheim. And
how many can I say?
As
Number
many
one,
as you know.
Sweeney Todd, obviously. Number one ever, Sweeney Todd. Yeah, definitely Sweeney. Judas in Jesus Christ Superstar. I'd love to do that. Billy Bigelow, Carousel. Don Andras. Valjean now, or Javert, yeah. Funny enough, when I was young, when I first got into Les Mis, I loved Andras and Javert and thought, I hated Marius and Valjean, never wanted to do Valjean. But then you get in it and you can just see what an extraordinary thing it is, so obviously it's something I'd love to do. But yeah, number one Sweeney, and then Billy Bigelow and Judas.
Cool. And another question that we got was, is there anyone that you would particularly love to play opposite?
Anyone I'd like to particularly play opposite? No, not really. I mean, I got I was very lucky in that I got to work with my much better half on Les Mis. That's where we met. So that was, that was very cool. It'd be great to work with her at some point. But I mean, I don't know. No, that I know, to be honest. There's no one other than that. I mean, I was very, very lucky to get to perform with Elena. She was, she's one of those people you hear about or hear of. I'd never met her before, and she's just lovely. And she was, she's an extraordinary actress and an extraordinary singer as well. She's really wonderful.
And do you have any hopes or plans to appear in Wales in the near future?
Oh yes, I'd love to. I'd really love to. Appearing in Wales is a bit like being in a band. It's very difficult to do when you're doing a show in London 8 times a week. I'd love to. I miss Wales very much. I haven't been back in a long time now. I miss Wales. I miss Cardiff a lot in particular. So it'd be lovely to go and do something in Millennium Centre, because that was such an extraordinary thing to be part of. Such an amazing, bizarre weekend, and real eye opener. I feel that sort of like I put a bit of me into that, just a tiny bit. And I'd really love to come perform there.
Cool. And lastly, how long are you in Love Never Dies for?
I am in Love Never Dies until September the 3rd. Start of September, 6 months anyway.
Okay. Well, make sure you go and catch David Thaxton in Love Never Dies. And thanks to everyone who sent in questions on email and Twitter. I hope we got to answer them all. And thank you, David Thaxton.
Thank you.